Hello everybody, my name is Len, and welcome back to another manga review. Let me just zoom out real quick, just for a quick second. Wow, you guys are crazy. I I did not expect my video on Steel Ball Run Volume 1 to break 100 views. It's like at 122 now. And I've been reading Volume 2 because I have to capitalize on the view streak. You know I have to, right? That's a joke. I cover Volume 2 so bad because it's so good. But we're not covering Volume 2, mainly because I haven't read it fully yet, and I need to. But the one thing I will be showing off that's unique to all of this is that little guy right there, JOJOLANDS. I got that yesterday after I finished school. But the thing that makes this one different is that this is from Japan. It's not in English. Here, I'll show you real quick. That's Japanese. There's not an English version of this yet, like Steel Ball Run, because Steel Ball Run is just coming out in physical edition for English. At least I believe so. So I got this because I've recently been loving JOJOLANDS. I caught up also yesterday. So I figured I'd just get the Japanese version because I think it's cool. Now, you're probably wondering, well, Lynn, how are you going to read this if it's in Japanese? You don't speak Japanese. Well, here's the thing, is that I don't need to look at the amazing art that Rocky has made. Here, let's bring it down. So this covers like the first 2-ish chapters of the manga, which is like, oh, there's the goat, which is like from the very start to, I think it's mid Kishibe Rohan house. Here, we could just flip to the end and you'll see it. Yeah, it's like mid Kishibe Rohan. So basically, there's these, the main gist of the story. Also, this isn't the real cover, by the way. This is it, but I don't want to put this on my shelf because I like this much better. But I'm going to have it as this for the sake of easy reading, or easy showing, I should say, because I can't read Japanese. But basically, it takes place on Hawaii. There it is. And, you know, this is how this guy right here, the main character, Jodio Joestar, becomes filthy rich. And, you know, they do all this. They get arrested by cops. Oh, Dragona gets kind of arrested, but, that's Dragona. That guy is not actually a woman, but a man who loves woman physique, I guess you could say. Woman fashion. You may think he has boobs, but he doesn't have boobs, which is a little sad, because it's just swelling in his chest. From, I think, injections? So basically, all this happens. I'm trying to find where Jodio reveals his stand for the first time. So Dragona's getting groped. There it is. It's a little cut off, but that's November Rain right there, which is definitely, it's definitely a different take on the stand, because mainly the main character stands for a lot of the parts, mainly every part, has just been a humanoid stand that goes muda 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 muda, or some variation of that. So I'm glad that we finally broke it up with November Rain and stuff like that. And there's actually not much humanoid stands in this part. I won't spoil the later stands, but basically I don't think there's a single one yet, really. Actually, maybe there is one, but I'm not too sure. I have to hold this down with my knee. But this is like the Kishibe Rohan stuff. They find the diamond, which they were tasked by a woman named Meryl May, if I can find her. Is it over here? Where's Meryl May? There she is. This is Meryl May. She's basically like the main, like, mob boss, I guess you could say. I'm gonna switch hands real quick. She's basically just the main guy the main, well, not the main character, but like the main person who gives them orders and stuff. That's the reason why they're in Kishibe Rohan's house looking for a $6 million diamond, I believe. Oh, and there's the goat right there, Kishibe Rohan, who was in part 4, and probably one of the best characters in in that part. Anyways, God, this entire book sucks. It's so small too. The camera isn't doing it justice, but it's so small and it's like so hard to like read it without it flipping or some shit. But yeah, so they're in the house, they're exploring, they're taking shit. Now these little guys right here, I believe, are the lava rocks, which are a integral part to part 9. Mainly because their ability is really cool. It's not shown in this volume because this only goes up to chapter 2. But like it's really cool. It's really cool. It's really dope. So they end up fighting a cat, which is back here. Who actually has a stand. And it's not the first time an animal has had a stand. Of course, there was Iggy in part 3. And I think a bird also had a stand in part 3. Basically, the cat, like, has strings that wraps around your ankles if it touches you. Or just any part that touches you. And they end up, having really creative ways of, getting that string off. And they'll fight the cat. They'll fight the cat later. But it's, as I said, it's not in this volume. So there's the diamond. The diamond is really strange. I don't think it's been explained what is exactly happening with the diamond. It just kind of teleports around, basically. And like it just escapes everybody who like touches it. And when Dragona goes to pick up the diamond, oh, who is that? Oh, it's Kishibe Rohan. And that's really sick. I really like this part where Kishibe finally finds the intruders and they end up fighting and squabbling, and it's really fun. So there's Paco. That's the other guy there. They end up fighting. He ends up taking out Heaven's Door. And then we find out that Paco ends up, doing this to, Rohan. But you may be asking, how do you do that? Oh, well, look at that. That's his stand right there. That's Paco's stand. He can basically control his muscles, and that's really sick. Sick. I turned into Australian for a second. That guy's Usagi. His stand is called, Damate Kudasai, I believe. I still have no clue what that stand does. I'm gonna be so for real. I don't think he uses it in this volume, though. At least not that I remember. Mainly, it's just Jodio, Dragona, and Paco who uses their stands here, and Kishibe. But then, Kishibe ends up using Heaven's Door to take these two out. And now it's basically just Dragona losing the diamond once more. And that's it, really. So they go to Kishibe Rohan's house, and they end up, they end up fighting Kishibe Rohan, trying to find a diamond. They end up getting the diamond, but it's kind of hard to lock down, if you know what I mean. But anyways, that's gonna be it. I know this one wasn't as long as the Steel Ball Run one, but yet again, this is a very small volume. It has as much chapters as Tower Dungeon have, which is 2. So yeah, not very much happens yet. And I think it's more of just setup volume, because not much really happens in volumes, probably 1 and 2, except for maybe Charming Man, which is a character who ends up with the group later, but I don't even know if he's gonna show up in volume 2, if you know what I mean. But anyways, that's gonna be it. I'll see you guys later. Bye bye.